Imagine, if you can, standing in the center of a room filled with money. Not just stacks of cash, but towers of it, skyscrapers of equity, a valuation so immense it eclipses the GDP of entire nations. In the year 2000, that room was worth $125 billion. It belonged to a company that didn't just participate in the internet, it was the internet. It was the front door, the guide, the search engine, the news anchor, and the post office for the entire digital world. If you went online in 1998, you didn't Google something, you didn't Facebook it, you Yahoo'd it. Now imagine taking a flamethrower to that room. This is not a hypothetical scenario. This is the financial autopsy of Yahoo Inc., a company that managed to turn the greatest head start in the history of capitalism into a $4.8 billion fire sale. That figure, $4.8 billion, might sound like a lot of money to you or me, but in the context of what Yahoo was, and more importantly, what it could have been, it is a catastrophe of biblical proportions. It represents a destruction of value so absolute that by the end, the stock market effectively valued the core business of Yahoo, the email used by millions, the sports pages, the finance portals, at less than zero. We are talking about the negative enterprise value anomaly, a financial embarrassment where a company's bank account and investment portfolio are actually worth more than the company itself. Essentially, Wall Street was telling Yahoo, your business is so broken, we would pay you to shut it down. But this isn't just a story about numbers, it's a ghost story. It is the story of a company that had the chance to buy Google for $1 million and said no. It is the story of a company that shook hands on a deal to buy Facebook for $1 billion, only to try to screw Zuckerberg out of a $150 million at the last minute, causing him to walk away and build a $1 trillion empire instead. It is the story of the Paranoids, a security team that screamed into the void while state-sponsored hackers looted 3 billion user accounts in the largest data breach in human history. Why does this matter to you? Why spend the next 15 minutes dissecting the corpse of a 90s .com giant? Because Yahoo is patient zero. It is the ultimate cautionary tale of the innovator's dilemma. It is a lesson in hubris, in the terrifying mathematics of missed opportunities, and in the brutal reality that in Silicon Valley, if you are not busy cannibalizing your own business, someone else is sharpening a knife to do it for you. We are going to peel back the layers of the purple onion. We will walk through the dopamine-fueled highs of the IPO that broke Wall Street. We will sit in the boardroom with Terry Semel as he misunderstands the fundamental nature of the internet. We will read the Peanut Butter Manifesto that diagnosed the company's fatal cancer years before it killed them. And we will ask the uncomfortable question. Is this happening again right now? Is the seed of destruction already planted in the giants of today, Google, Meta, Amazon, just waiting for the right shift in the wind? Buckle up. We are going back to 1994, to a trailer on the campus of Stanford University, to pizza boxes, sumo wrestlers, and a list that changed the world. This is the rise and fall of the Purple Empire. The year is 1994. The internet is a quiet, desolate place. There is no social media. There are no streaming services. There is no feed. The World Wide Web is a scattered collection of text-heavy pages, and navigating it is like trying to find a specific book in a library where all the books have been dumped in a pile on the floor. There is no card catalog. There is no map. Enter Jerry Yang and David Philo. They are electrical engineering graduate students at Stanford University. Ostensibly, they are supposed to be writing their doctoral dissertations on design automation software. But like all great innovators, they are procrastinators. They are bored with their thesis work, and they have found a distraction. They are squatting in a portable trailer on the Stanford campus because the computer science department has run out of office space. This trailer is a legend in itself. Friends described it as a cockroach's picture of Christmas, a disaster zone filled with empty pizza boxes, dirty laundry, discarded papers, and what one historian politely called student detritus. The air is thick with the heat of running computers and the smell of college life. Inside this trailer, Yang and Philo are not inventing a complex algorithm. They aren't writing code to scrape the web. They are simply making a list. They start surfing the web, finding cool pages, and categorizing them. They call it Jerry and David's Guide to the World Wide Web. It is primitive. It is manual. It is deeply human. If they find a site about basketball, they file it under Sports, Basketball, NBA. It is a directory, not a search engine. It is a hierarchy. And in the chaotic, messy web of 1994, this structure is exactly what the world is starving for. They named their workstations Akebono and Konishiki after their favorite sumo wrestlers, a passion they picked up during a teaching stint in Japan. The server hosting the guide is Akebono, and Akebono starts to get hot. The guide spreads by word of mouth. First, it's just their friends, then it's the whole department, then it's the whole university. By the end of 1994, Jerry and David's Guide is getting 1 million hits. The Stanford network administrators are knocking on the trailer door, politely telling them that their little hobby is crashing the university's internet bandwidth. They are evicted from the campus servers. They have to go pro. They need a name. Jerry and David's Guide is a mouthful. They want something catchy, something rebellious, something that fits the Wild West ethos of the early web. They settle on Yahoo. The official origin story, the one they tell the press, is literary. In Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels, a Yahoo is a rude, unsophisticated, rural creature. Yang and Philo, with the self-deprecating humor of engineers, like the idea of being Yahoos, outsiders, unpolished, wild. But being engineers, they can't resist a good backronym. They reverse engineer the name to stand for yet another hierarchically organized oracle. It is a perfect encapsulation of their identity, nerdy, functional, but wrapped in a joke. They incorporate in March 1995. They secure funding from Sequoia Capital, and they begin to build a culture that is distinctively, aggressively purple. Why purple? The legend goes that when they moved into their first real office, they wanted to paint the walls. They went to the store and found a massive quantity of lavender paint on the discount rack. It was cheap. They bought it all. The walls became purple, the logo became purple, the brand became purple. It was accidental brilliance. Yahoo's business model in the late 90s was simple and, for a time, infinitely profitable. They wanted to be the portal. The theory was that internet users were confused and needed a start page, a single dashboard where they could check their email, see the weather, check stock quotes, read the news, and find links to other sites. Yahoo became that dashboard. By aggregating all these services in one place, Yahoo captured eyeballs. And in the 90s, eyeballs were currency. Because everyone started their day on Yahoo, Yahoo could charge advertisers a premium to place banner ads on the homepage. It was the toll booth of the digital highway. If you wanted to reach the internet, you had to pay the toll. April 12, 1996, Yahoo goes public. The anticipation is feverish. This is the first major pure-play search engine IPO. The stock is priced at $13 per share, but when the bell rings, the market goes insane. The stock opens at $24.50. Within the first hour, it rockets to $43. Let's pause here and look at the math. At $43 a share, a company that was a list of links in a smelly trailer just 2 years prior is suddenly valued at over $1 billion. Analysts are baffled. They scream that it is overvalued. Give it time until the large buyers bail out, warns one investment analyst. They point out that the revenue is tiny compared to the valuation, but the market doesn't care. The market sees the future. This moment marks the true beginning of the dot-com bubble. Yahoo is the poster child. Its stock price becomes a super currency. Because the stock is valued so highly, Yahoo can use it to buy other companies by just printing new shares. It's like having a printing press for money in the basement. And boy, do they use it. In 1999, they buy GeoCities for $3.6 billion in stock. GeoCities is the third most visited site on the web. It allows users to build their own homepages in neighborhoods. It is the proto-social network. Yahoo buys it and then slowly strangles it with neglect. But the crown jewel of their spending insanity comes later that same year. In 1999, Yahoo acquires Broadcast.com for $5.7 billion. Broadcast.com is an internet radio company founded by a charismatic entrepreneur named Mark Cuban. $5.7 billion for an internet radio site in 1999. To understand how crazy this is, remember that most people are connecting to the internet via dial-up. Streaming audio is a painful exercise in buffering. Mark Cuban, the seller, knows this. He takes the Yahoo stock, but he's smart. He executes a famous financial maneuver known as a collar trade to lock in the value of his shares because he suspects the bubble is about to burst. He was right. But in early 2000, nobody sees the cliff. Yahoo stock hits an all-time high of $118.75. The company is valued at $125 billion. Jerry Yang and David Filo are paper billionaires. They are the kings of the new world. But amidst the champagne and the confetti, there is a small, unnoticed event that will eventually doom the empire. It is 1998. Two other Stanford students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, have developed a new kind of search engine. Unlike Yahoo's human directory, it uses an algorithm called PageRank. They walk into a meeting with Yahoo. They offer to sell the PageRank system to Yahoo for $1 million. $1 million. Pocket change for Yahoo. Yahoo says no. Why? The reasoning is perverse but logical within the portal mindset. Yahoo executives argue that if they give users a perfect search engine, the users will find what they want and leave the site. We want them to stay. We want them to browse the directory, check the weather, look at banner ads. A good search engine is bad for business. So, Yahoo rejects the offer. Go away, kids. We are a media company. Larry and Sergey leave the meeting. They decide to build the company themselves. And with that single decision, the seed of Yahoo's destruction is planted. Before we watch the bubble burst and the villains enter the stage, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the history of the internet, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We are building a channel dedicated to the biggest business stories, the wildest failures, and the lessons you can learn from them. Join the community and let's keep the history alive. Now, let's watch the world crash. March 2000. The dot-com bubble bursts. It is a bloodbath. The Nasdaq loses 78% of its value. Companies like Pets.com evaporate overnight. Yahoo is decimated. Its stock price plummets from $118 down to an all-time low of $8.11. That is a 93% drop. But unlike the fake companies, Yahoo survives. It has real revenue. It has millions of users. But the board of directors decides that the Wild West days are over. They need a grown-up to run the company. In 2001, Yahoo hires Terry Semel as CEO. Semel is Hollywood royalty. He spent 24 years at Warner Brothers. He is a deal maker. He wears suits. The board thinks Yahoo is a media company. We sell ads. Who better to run it than a movie mogul? But there is a problem. Terry Semel is not a tech guy. Stories from the time report that in meetings, Semel didn't know the right questions to ask about technology. He viewed the internet through the lens of television. You create content and you sell ads around it. Under Semel, the culture shifts. The engineers, the people building the future, are sidelined. The marketers and sales guys take over. At Google, engineers are gods. At Yahoo, they become service staff. It is 2002. Google is growing fast. Yahoo finally realizes that the human directory is obsolete. Terry Semel looks at Google and thinks we should own that. He arranges a dinner with Larry Page and Sergey Brin. He sits them down and offers to buy Google. Larry and Sergey play hardball. They ask for $3 billion. Semel hesitates. $3 billion for a company with barely any revenue? He goes back to his board. He agonizes. Finally, he decides to pull the trigger. He goes back to Larry and Sergey and says, "Okay, we'll pay the $3 billion. Larry and Sergey look at each other. They smile. "Sorry, Terry, the price went up. It's $5 billion now." Semel is furious. He feels played. He is a Hollywood negotiator and he doesn't like being squeezed by two kids. He walks away. He decides Yahoo will build its own search engine, codenamed Project Panama. But it's too little, too late. Yahoo missed Google to save a couple of $1 billion. Today, Google is worth nearly $2 trillion. By 2006, Yahoo is a mess. It is trying to be everything to everyone. Search, email, dating, jobs, photos, music. In November 2006, a senior VP named Brad Garlinghouse writes an internal memo that leaks and becomes legend. It is titled the Peanut Butter Manifesto. He writes, "I've heard our strategy described as spreading peanut butter across the myriad opportunities that continue to evolve in the online world. The result? A thin layer of investment spread across everything we do, and thus we focus on nothing in particular. I hate peanut butter. We all should." The memo goes viral because it confirms what everyone suspects. Yahoo is a ship without a rudder. But even with the peanut butter problem, Yahoo gets one more golden ticket. It is 2006. Yahoo spots a college social network called the Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg is 22 years old. Yahoo approaches him. They negotiate a deal to buy Facebook. The price is agreed, $1 billion. It is a done deal. The paperwork is being drawn up. Zuckerberg is ambivalent. He doesn't really want to sell, but his investors are pressuring him. $1 billion is a life-changing exit. Then disaster strikes. Yahoo releases a slightly underwhelming earnings report. The stock price dips. Terry Semel, ever the deal maker, thinks he can squeeze the kid. He changes the term sheet from $1 billion down to $850 million. He tries to save $150 million. Zuckerberg is in a board meeting when he hears the new number. He's insulted. It's not about the money, it's about the respect. He tears up the term sheet. He says, "I'm not selling." Yahoo tries to fix it later, going back to the $1 billion figure, but the bridge is burned. Facebook is now worth over $1 trillion. Yahoo missed it to save $150 million. Let that sink in. But the universe has a twisted sense of humor. In 2008, the tables turn. Microsoft, terrified of Google, offers to buy Yahoo. Steve Ballmer offers $44.6 billion for Yahoo. That is a massive premium. It is a get-out-of-jail-free card. Jerry Yang, who has returned as CEO, is sentimental. He has purple blood. He believes Yahoo is worth more. He rejects the offer. He says no to $44 billion. Microsoft walks away. Yahoo stock collapses. Shareholders sue. Jerry Yang is forced to step down. They rejected $44 billion. Keep that number in your head because we are about to see how low the price can go. After the Microsoft rejection, Yahoo enters a death spiral. CEOs come and go. Then, in 2012, they hire Marissa Mayer from Google. She is the savior. She buys Tumblr for $1.1 billion to capture the cool kids. She promises not to screw it up. She screws it up. Yahoo tries to force corporate ads onto Tumblr's anti-ad user base. The value of Tumblr is eventually written down to almost nothing. But while the executives are playing with acquisitions, the castle gates are left open. Yahoo had a security team. They called themselves the paranoids. Their job was to protect the users, led by Alex Stamos. They warned leadership that Yahoo security was outdated. They needed encryption. They needed budget. But the executives were focused on user experience. Security adds friction. Friction reduces page views. The paranoids were ignored. Then the nightmare scenario happened. In 2013 and 2014, state-sponsored hackers breached Yahoo. They didn't just steal a few passwords, they stole the database. 3 billion accounts. Every single Yahoo account in existence. Names, passwords, birth dates. It was the largest data breach in the history of the internet. And the worst part? Yahoo didn't disclose the full extent of the 2013 breach until 2016. 3 years later, right when they were trying to sell the company. By 2016, Yahoo is broken. They agreed to sell the core internet business to Verizon. Remember the 2000 valuation? $125 billion. Remember the Microsoft offer? $44 billion. The final sale price to Verizon? $4.48 billion. And even that price was slashed by $350 million because of the data breach scandal. The remaining parts of Yahoo, essentially just a massive pile of Alibaba stock that Jerry Yang had bought years ago, renamed itself Alibaba and slowly liquidated. The purple giant was dead. So what is the lesson? It isn't just that Terry Semel didn't get tech. It isn't just bad luck. The lesson is, if you don't cannibalize your own business, someone else will. Yahoo refused to build a better search engine because they feared it would hurt their banner ad views. So Google built it and took their users. Yahoo refused to fully embrace social networking because they wanted to control the media. So Facebook built it and took their attention. Yahoo protected the present at the expense of the future. They hugged their golden era business model so tight that they suffocated it. Today, Yahoo is a ghost. It still exists. Your aunt might still use the email, but the empire is ash. And somewhere in a garage right now, 2 kids are building something new. And somewhere in a boardroom, a CEO is looking at a spreadsheet, deciding whether to buy them or ignore them. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. That is the tragic story of the $100 billion burn. If you learned something from this autopsy, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We break down the business history you need to know. Leave a comment below. Do you still use Yahoo Mail? And who do you think is the next Yahoo? Is it Google? Is it Meta? Let me know in the comments. I will see you in the next one.